The update you have been waiting for in Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader may finally be here. Welcome everybody. Today we're going to take a look at some of the things of the new beta update, which I have received early access to. Huge shout out to Owlcat Games and Dead Good Media for the early access. We're going to look into the new things, which includes character creation. It includes being able to play from the prologue to Act 3. We're going to hopefully, eventually, not in this episode, see space combat. So guys, your determination on how far I dig into this is completely determined by how engaged you are with the new content. This could be a one-off or it could be a series. It all depends on what you think and what you want to see. So of course, one of the biggest features is character creation, and as such, we are going to start a new game and we are going to create our character. I'm looking forward to maybe making some form of monster in the mind anyways. Let's go ahead and dig right on in. All right, we're going to take up the main storyline, take up the mantle of a rogue trader, a scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodlines von Valenkius as it faces multiple dangers, from a traitor amongst its rank to the numerous enemies seeking to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It's up to you to hold the reins of a shattered protectorate, forge a new path for the rogue trader dynasty that finds itself in the vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy. The stakes rise as you cross the paths of the most powerful adversaries and rivals that chase their own goals in the darkness of the Corona's expanse. All right, so it looks like we do have some predetermined characters that we want to do. I do believe technically Bahador was who you started out as in the alpha stage. So if you want to, you can totally take them on. We're creating a custom character though. Possibilities are endless. You can choose from a wide variety of abilities and skills and your character's doctrine. Let's get into the thick of it. All right, well, we have different characters that we can use, different portraits that represent who we are and what we want to do. This grizzled old man, I resonate with that guy, but at the same time, I kind of want to be this guy. Now, the portrait doesn't matter so much, but I do kind of feel like this goes with the vibe that I kind of want to roll with. Distinguished veteran, but nonetheless grizzly, old, at least old feeling, which very much resonates with myself. All right, we got appearance. Our body. Oh, okay, male and female, cool. We have different faces, different body types, but we're gonna go with the number one, skin tone. We're gonna go, there we are. Okay, our home world is what's next. We have a wide range actually. This is very nice. Death worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even environment takes aggression, destructive forms, inimical to human life. While it's exceptionally difficult to colonize, many death worlds possess valuable resources. Survival instinct once per combat. When the wounds of a death world character drop below 30%, they gain 20% temporary wounds. Death world characters gain 20% bonus to dodge and armor, while they have one temporary wound. All right, well, this is interesting. We have a lot of really cool things here. We have attribute modifiers to all of the things. This is a D100 roll system, so if you want to be considerate of that, that's awesome. Brutal hunter, trusty weapons, wounded beast. There's a lot to this. Now, the character that I kind of want to create is kind of, again, a monster of the mind. This is not what I usually play with, but I want to really dig into this. This guy is brutal. He is aggressive. I would love for him to be intelligent, but you can't have all of the best qualities of everything. So I'm going to go through here. We're going to figure out some different things that we want to do and figure out how we want to worry about that. Targets with bleeding, that's interesting. Trusty weapons. We would have to be more of a melee. Deflection against toxic damage and flame. Tenacity. Suffers once per combat when a death world character suffers stunned. Ignore this condition, gain 20% temporary wounds. Okay. Voidborn, not really. Nah, we're not gonna worry about that. Hive world, no, that's not for us. Forge world, subskin implants. Interesting. Gain +5, +2 times your bonus percentage to armor. So for instance, if we did a 5% bonus, that would be a 15% bonus to armor, which is pretty cool. Intelligence and toughness is good. Fellowship, not so much. Forge world subskin may be what we do. Oh no, all the forge, I think all the Forge worlds are going to be almost the same. Interesting. We have an Imperial world as well. Strength and weapon skill, ballistic skill and perception, military traditions. I don't know, man. Death world is just... I think we're going to have to go with the Death world. It has the most talents. It kind of resonates with what I want to go for. Yeah, we're definitely going to rock the Death world. Now, the Origin is what's going to be next. And again, we have to think about what I want to do. Well, we get cool things. Combined arms. Allies deal a certain damage to enemies that are adjacent to the commander or their allies, which is pretty cool. I actually really like that a lot, but I don't know if Astra Militarum is what I want to be. A Commissar is definitely not. A Vagabond, perhaps. The Imperium survives and prospers due to the narrowness of its vision, but a rebellious mind and will such as yours could not be so, and a will such as yours could not be so easily constrained. We're definitely not going to be a Ministorum priest, absolutely not. A noble may be interesting to pursue. You grew in adulthood upon a spire of affluence and grandeur. We are a sanctioned psyker, biomancy, psi rating 0, but we're not really good at the psi thing. We do have a great deal of lore, though. Interesting. I haven't honestly thought about playing one of these. I think this would be really good. We get a great deal of lore on the warp and their manifestations. Even though it's not fleshed out, let's roll with it. All right. Well, it appears we don't have a triumph or a darkest hour. All right. Our doctrines are coming up next. We only have a handful of them. Mind you, this is the beta. It's not the full game. So do we want a fighter, a leader, adept, or a marksman? I think considering everything we're doing, we may want to be an adept. Find and exploit weaknesses. No defense can withstand an attack from an adept. I think that's what we want. Let's go with adept. Characteristics: intelligence, perception, weapon skill, ballistic skill. Yeah, we'll roll with it. And then what do we want here? Our second doctrine, as it were. Assassin, a vanguard, or a hunter. I think we're going to be a... Oh, do we only get to choose one? All right, well, either it's glitched out or I simply can't select that one. I wanted to be an adept. We'll go there. Apparently, I can't hit number 2, which is all right. All right, so next is our stats. There's a lot of skills that we can do here that we need to work on. Let's see. Let's go with... We have switched up just a little bit. Remember, strength, agility, toughness. Intelligence isn't exactly our greatest here, for sure, but that's okay. We can actually pump into intelligence if we wanted to. But I do need to... I feel like I do need to work on keeping things to standards, as it were. So that means kind of sticking to the things that we want to have done. Now, fellowship, I'm not going to worry about fellowship. We're not going to do any of that stuff. Perception, we're going to pump them to those a little bit. We will roll with some agility, which works in sync with some of the things we're working on here. Toughness is going to bring things up. Ballistic skill, weapon skill, we'll pump 5 into that, and we'll go ahead and pump 5 more into strength. So, based on our skills, this is what we're looking like. We are very poor in some other areas like coercion, commerce, persuasion, but that's okay. It's not a worry. Now, the standard is the Von Valenkius flagship, but I do believe we can edit it to be what we want. We're going to just name it The Havoc, because I'm a conceited YouTuber. All right. The Havoc flagship is the oldest and mightiest void ship belonging to the Von Valenkius dynasty. Every system aboard this frigate's been tried and tested in innumerable engagements. Size and maneuverability are perfect for pursuing smaller, faster raiders. Numerous Von Valenkius rogue traders have acknowledged the exceptional performance of this vessel. With a few minor updates, flagship has continued faithfully to serve the Von Valenkius dynasty. All right, this is what I look like. A little bit goofier than what I had intended with my thing over here, but regardless, I like it. I think it'll work out. Overall, I do love this Batman style outfit though. So we are pretty good in weapon skill, strength, toughness, agility, and perception are going to be some of our bigger areas that we are going to excel in. We will not excel in tech use, Medicaid, coercion even, which we'll see if that ends up working out or not. I'm not the smartest person in the world, nor do I enjoy fellowship, but we'll see how that all goes. Now, I do believe we're going to dive into the prologue. Let's see what the prologue has in store for us. Conrad Voigtfir, an excellent place for contemplation. The man who has approached you is gazing down to the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. Have we met? Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtfir, Master of the Whispers and the employee of her ladyship, rogue trader Theodora von Valancius. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. Bows his head, focuses his attention on you. So it looks like I misspelled Valancius. I said it as a Valancius with an E. We'll have to roll with it. Well, my name is Gracchus Valancius. My regards, Gracchus. He looks down with a thin smile, or should I say Gracchus Valancius von Valancius. I didn't know it was going to do that. That's hilarious. Scion of the blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given all the evidence of a connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of her ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty. Lord Captain? A strange title for the Lady Theodora. Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore it is sacrosanct. Why am I on this vessel? Why have I been brought here? So that you may fulfill your blood duty, Gracchus Valancius von Valancius. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you've been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader in deeds blessed by the God Emperor. I see that you are shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of whom you obeyed before. The Lord Captain's power is so great, she's capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium, your fate. Tell me about the one on whose ship I have found myself, if you would, please. I'd rather not discuss Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. He laughs, shakes his head. Suffice it to say, her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade, and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities. You mentioned that you're the Master of Whispers. What are your responsibilities? To put it plainly, I'm the head of a network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valancius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others. Well, you say I'm one of the rogue trader's heirs, and there is another candidate. Shrug slightly. There are, and you'll meet them soon enough. Well, I assume you had a goal when you came to me. But of course, I've come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It's regrettable you hadn't had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Ethelred von Valancius are conversing on the observation platform located in one of the wings of the officer's deck. Let us join them there. I shall accompany you. All right, well, let's get to it. We're going to try and go down. Can we talk to these people? Sacred mechanisms have been tampered with without due respect. The data process cycle tripled. Oh, that's very unfortunate. What do we got here? Just a nice big table. A massive conference table crafted from real wood. A resource of incredible value aboard a void ship. Goodness gracious. Master of Whispers, it's an emergency. The esteemed Lord Captain's pet has broken the bolts. Well, that's a pet indeed. Blast it. Watch out, Gracchus Valenkus. A wild xenobeast held in a cage for amusement escaped. The rampaging creature needs to be stopped. You've been ambushed. The battle begins. All right. Genusian Lacerix. All right, it's my turn. Now, all I have right now is just a simple stub revolver. Iron Arm imbues an ally with great power and steadiness in their hands, increasing their strength and toughness till the end of combat. We have Voice of Command, forces an ally to make every effort, increasing their characteristics by 5 and for 1 turn. Additionally, all the leader's abilities can be applied to target the Voice of Command from any distance. Bring it down, the target ally immediately gains bonus turn with no movement points and action points, equal to the leader's bonus divided by 2. If an ally is under the Voice of Command effect, they gain an additional 2. Let's go ahead and, let's see, he's going to be the next one. Unavailable. Apparently I cannot give that order to anyone. Oh, it's within a certain distance. Let's go ahead and move up a little bit. I have 6 movement points. Interesting that I can't give this to anyone. 1 friendly creature within a 4-cell radius. All right, well, we are going to forget that. And I'm going to use my stub pistol. 40% chance to hit. Oof. That's rough. All right, I have nothing else. And I can't move either. Let's go ahead and give our next bridge guard a little bit of a boost with Iron Arm. It looks like I can't give anyone else anything either, so let's go ahead and end the turn. Oof, that was good. There we go. 1 more shot, lads. Very nice. Scarcely believe it on a day like this. What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. A wild beast breaks free on the officer's deck, same moment when the road trader and her heirs are gathered here. Without taking his eyes off the dead beast, he removes the Voxcaster from his belt, speaks a few quick orders into the device, turns to you. I blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors. If this is a deliberate attack, it should be stopped the culprits from advancing their plan. Whew. Strange coincidence indeed. It's almost like no RPG ever has this sort of accident happen. Talk to Theodora von Valenkus. Spread out. No one's allowed to enter their premises. Stations. At your service. I'm afraid I must remain here, Gracchus Valenkus. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of those orders personally. Hope you have no difficulty reaching the observation platform, just at the end of the corridor. Gives a curt bow. All right, well. Let's go ahead and look here. Doesn't appear to be any loot boxes. Huge beast roars at you. Those are some terrifying creatures. We want to be, I assume, this way. Apparently it is. That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora, says the man dressed in a peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension, his face, half of which is covered by sin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide, practically an admission of heresy. Theodora, the tall, gray-haired woman, pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation no worse than my cynical could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Aeon, the 6th Adelthred? I'm going to listen in silence. While you are considering your answer, Adelthred, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling. Nods in your direction. Approach. What is this? Adelthred turns to you and regards you with indignation. Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversation in such a fashion? I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. Tilts her head, her lips stretch into a cold smile. This is Gracchus Valencius, the second candidate for the title of my successor. The rogue trader regards you with a look that is imperious, predatory, and oppressive. Step forward, Gracchus Valencius. Consider this hypothetical situation, Aeon the Sixth. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metaphoric rock deposit prospects, or the prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say. But attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure? Now, this is the cool part of the game because, as you see here, I have two different lore situations, both which would succeed due to my knowledge of the Xenos and the knowledge of the warp. I could go with number one. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify it's indeed the case and if the population of Aeon 4 engages in Xeno worship. Or there are ways to confirm whether what is happening is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. The others are simply standard answers. Reports of spirits sound like evidence of heresy. Aeon 4 must be purged for the good of the Imperium. I want to lean into the Xeno side of things. Let's go with lore 1. Theodora arches her eyebrow. Reasonable and prudent. However, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor. Dang it. Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad hoarders that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you, Gracchus Valencius, are simply unaware of their existence. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which, as I understand, was still more than you could do, Ethelthred. The color drains from Ethelthred's face, which distorts his features further. Insolent, ignorant upstart, how dare you? Ethelthred, I believe I gave you an assignment on the ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time. He bows ceremoniously, takes his leave without sparing you another look. Theodora's gaze follows as he leaves, then she turns to you. So, Gracchus Valencius, why are you here? I don't know quite yet. I'm hoping you'll clarify it. Clarity, a luxury that few of us can afford. There's a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity. My name is Theodora von Valencius, Massimo of Scotus. I'm a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the warrant of trade kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness belonging to the Imperium and carry humanity's light, where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bode death and ruin to us all. It's my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I pass the bounds of the explored world. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, Gracchus Valencius von Valencius, are one of those with the von Valencius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose. Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then that of their closest ally. Sighs, looks away pensively for a brief moment. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Conrad Voigtveer served me for many years before he made his mistake. Wait, did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you. His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valencius. even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door is closed to him. Voigtver's performance in his current role is satisfactory, or used to be at least. Are there other heirs? Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you've had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Adelthred may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. We'll dig into this. Are you if you're satisfied with Adelthred, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me? Impatience. I'm rather fond of impatient people. They're not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Adelthred as my successor, I still require loyal advisors. The skill and knowledge you acquire in your former life may prove invaluable here in the Cronus Expanse. Well, that's no good. It seems the escape was not a coincidence. We've been ambushed. Battle will certainly begin. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Oof. That was a nice shotgun to the face. By the way, we're on 1.5 speed for allies and double speed for enemies, so that's why things are moving rather quickly. All right, what shall we do? Target ally immediately gains bonus turn with no movement points and action points. Who are we going to go? Should we go with Theodora? I'm really curious as to why I can't give that to them, but maybe I don't understand the game quite as much. All right. Psyker imbues an ally with great power and steadies their hand to strength and toughness. Let's go ahead and get, let's go with Abelard. Awesome. My ideal range is not there. So let's go ahead and move up a couple of paces. We're actually going to go, I'm going to move backwards. And the reason for that is I prefer cover over everything else. Nope, we missed there. That's all right. There's no one we can give this to. No one else either in the turn. Heretic cutthroats in large numbers. Oof, nice shot, Theodora. There we go. Goodness gracious me, that's a lot of... Alright, can I shoot him? There's a 52% chance. Now, one thing to mention is that friendly fire is a thing. Alright, what are we looking at here? Let's go ahead and give an iron arm. Nope, I can't do it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give it to Theodora. I think that would actually be pretty helpful. Let's try and shoot. Oof, I suck with this pistol, I tell you what. Good thing that these guys all suck.
I took care of this one.
Yeah, you tried to move, and that didn't work at all.
Good one. Fewer target. I took care of this.
Perfect. Well, that was some easy work. Some easy work. Theodora waves her hand in a commanding gesture. Mort! Take a team with you and clear the path to the transport line. Do not let a single whore son survive. The rogue trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst you on the deck, Not bad. Seen many an officer panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security makes them that much more susceptible to harsh realities of warp transitions. Looks at the box in her hand. All you hear is lifeless static. The incident with the beast on the officer's deck may be connected to what's transpiring now. Possibly. Quite likely. We'll investigate at a later time. Right now we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. What are your orders? Mort's gone on to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him, see if the Arch-Militant requires aid, and be quick about it. Officer's deck is under attack, so Arch-Militant Mort's left to clear the way. Officer hasn't returned yet, so it's time to go after all the things. No loot yet, no loot. We're simply stuck with a regular old bolt thing. All right, there's a breakthrough attempt. Crew to arms. Let's get involved. Oof, get wrecked. Oh my. I'm actually really enjoying this right now. There's something about starting from the prologue in the beginning of the game to starting in act whatever it is from the beginning. Conrad Voigtfear, thank Providence you're all alive and well. Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You can set your chrono by it. Mort, pull yourself together. What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed 7 more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and where they serve? Report! I've not received word from the Imaginarium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they've ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are speding fast. I'm receiving scattered reports from the middle decks. The only vox cast from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. Pauses. But the madmen may have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outage was planned in advance. Perhaps it's an organized mutiny. All right, we have to lean into the side here. This is a role-playing action we get to have here. A mutiny against the Emperor's anointed. Execute the traitors, every last one of them. First, we have to confirm the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means of doing both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Ethelthred, where is he? I must know if he's unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that's potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and the others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. Well, tried to locate him. But the last thing known about this movement is that he arrived on transitional deck 18. Blast it! Minute Master of Whispers, find Ethelthred immediately. Siniscal, locate Class and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant with me. I must go to my study. It appears we might encounter heretics along the way. Gracchus Valancius von Valancius. If I may, Lord Captain, transitional deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Ethelthred back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Ethelthred's psyker powers. Let's do it. Then it's settled. Gracchus Valancius, find Ethelthred, return here in any state. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? I shall do everything in my power. Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. Mort, come. Let's get to it. Are you ready to head to 18? It's a long walk. I'll make do. Lead the way. Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that's no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen. You're consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. What's... Oh, snap. Promise you a special destiny, Gracchus Valancius. Time to fulfill it. Son of a biscuit. The last time I do something nice. Especially for someone I don't know. Alright, well. While the Lord Captain are busy, yeah, we messed that one up. Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber. For that, I need him breathing. You're back with us, I see. Delightful. Vodger. You two-faced scum, you're the one behind this mayhem. How perceptive. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I'll squeeze it out of you myself. I don't think you have the power to do that. We're in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond the gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all her power, the sacred warrant of trade. Only one obstacle remains in my path obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but, well, never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit of investigating here. Why are you doing this? Why? Because I'm following an order. What is happening on the ship has been in the making for a very long time. All that remains is for us to obtain what my master sent me for, the warrant of trade. Well, what is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel? On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Von Valancius. Okay. The Sentinel refuses to submit to me, but you can help. After all, isn't that what your family is for? No, I'm not going to. I'm afraid that you, Gracchus Valancius Von Valancius, have no choice in the matter. Produces a strange object, a blade without a hammer, shimmers blue in the light. Try to resist, and I will demonstrate the power that the Warp holds over mortals. Come to think of it, I may even take some pleasure in doing so. The void with you. The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous, your head spinning, then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo together, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a single urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Willpower of 30 I don't think is enough, but we're going to try it. Oh, it failed. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you to your feet and making you step forward. Dang it. Of course I can't resist. In the gateway arch, you see a conjugator with human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automation created from a lobotomized human being. The Sentinel turns its head towards you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. We're going to look for anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around in the hopes of finding something. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty. Perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel. We're going to try and tech use it up. Failed. There's little chance you'll be able to discern anything about its design. Relic is the specialty of the machine cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living soul could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. The whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that fill your head after Voigtvir wounded you with the blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. I'm going to examine the Sentinel. Servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you're used to. Copper thread stitches its skin. Joints are replaced by metal hinges. Seems the creators of the Sentinel did everything so the result would serve much longer than ordinary working automations. Well, did you forget something, Gracchus Valancius? I suggest that you hurry. Put our hand into the maw. Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin, sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as servo motors start up and the pumps turn into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel jaws remain closed. You feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes, pretend nothing ever happened. High levels of cosmic humors. The subject is in state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whatever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Who is this? You hear the voice again. This time you realize it's coming from the two speakers built into the shoulders. Genetic code identified. Child of House Von Valancius, do you require assistance? You hear a displeased grunt in your mind as if the lurking entity has sensed something is not to its liking. Here we go. Yes, Sentinel, traitors threaten my life and the safety of the warrant. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do any real harm. Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol. Yes! Kill them all! Brilliant. Oh wow, he just warped into a space, didn't he? Alright, the warrant chamber's opened its doors. It's time to make sure the sacred warrant of trade is safe. Nice. Well done. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be bearer of the warrant of trade, the paragon of humanity, unbroken by adversity, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, walk steadily of thorns through pain and greatness. Wow. That's a lot. The servo skull creaking gradually turned to comprehensible words. Escort the child of the house to safety. 3. I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless. Distance from the current location to nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Relays clicking. Sector after second passes. You realize it will not answer you. I need to contact someone. Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection. In the place of mechanical screeching, the servo skull's Vox projects the voice of Theodora von Blankius. Distorted and ridden with static, it's still recognizable beyond a doubt. Vox Master, restore communications with the Navigator's Sanctum. I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks. I repeat, regroup all forces and head... Communication protocols breached. Signal latency acceptance unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection. Alright, what madness is happening here? Temporary obnubilation. Obnubilation. Wow, following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by. Are you the Warrant Sentinel? Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as a personal escort of the child of the house as a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit is standing by. Alright. Middle and upper decks, assuming the probability of safe placement in the areas of concentration of armed units, calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured. We're going to seal it. That was a nice try. Abelard. Siniskull Abelard Warsiran has lost some of his former polish. His forehead is sweating. One of the sleeves is torn, soaked through with blood. Nonetheless, despite his heavy breathing, stands firm and his gaze is demanding. Master Gracchus Valinkius, whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Raise the carnage. Groan, preserve me. What is the meaning of this? Oh, obviously. Conrad Voigtveer is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here. His eyes widened. What? He intended to take revenge on Theodora. He spoke about defiling the warrant with some ritual and serving the gods of the warp. Serving gods of the warp? Conrad is a heretic? Oh, Voigtveer, you void rat. Madness! And this mutiny is likewise his doing, no doubt. Voigtveer openly admitted he's the mastermind behind the mutiny. Rockseed! Then it's a small wonder the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal all passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers, but I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you're alive and safe, Master Gracchus Valinkius. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. He examines me critically. You're in a bad way, Gracchus Valinkius. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me, and for the love of the throne, now's not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Awesome, I received my stub, revolver, sword, armored body glove, and a Medikit. Awesome, the abduction has taken its toll. Siniskull has offered medical assistance. Assisting would be a wise choice. Alright, so we have 2 people now in our group. We need to figure out where we need to go. I imagine there's no use in going towards any of these. It appears not. We need to head back from whence we came. I thought he doesn't have a Medicaid. Let's look at our inventory. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go ahead and look into Gracchus Valinkius. I do wish I could rename myself, but I do think it's hilarious that it's there anyways. Got my bolt gun. Got a sword. Got an armored body glove. Okay, but I don't have wounds. Don't tell me that I can't play this because I don't have wounds. That would be rather silly. Let's inventory him. Drop it there. There we go. And then...
Let's patch you up.
There we go. All right. That's a noticeable improvement, Gracchus. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics. Ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels, suppressing the resistance. All communication with the bridge has been lost, so apart from scattered vox casts, no information to go on. That's not the worst of all. Pauses when the light flickers. All these jolts and shakes are most alarming. These are signs the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. In the worst case, they've already lost control of the process. We all have precious few moments. In the best case, if we manage to reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation, some aboard this vessel may yet survive. What exactly is wrong with the translation? I'm no helmsman. However, I spent my life aboard void ships. It could be the Gellerfield has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down. It's fighting for the last shreds of humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we'll be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we won't live long. But even so, I don't tend to resign just yet. I heard one of Theodora's vox casts. Last one I received was about the navigator's sanctum. That was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope the Lord Captain is well, safely in charge of the ship's defenses. All right, let's just head there. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and the corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared. The Lord Captain is calling your crews to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve, you and I shall prove that her trust is well deserved. Onward. Let's get to it. All right, so it looks like it's just a bunch of just a bunch of melee weapons. That's good for us.
Tactically sound approach.
We're gonna move. There's no way that they're going to get in to this mix, so I think we're good. Valinkius. Nope, let's go ahead and move first. 58% isn't a good one. We've missed every single shot we've taken thus far. We're going to Iron Arm. Come to me. We should be able to cut these guys down pretty easy. What do we have here? We have Strike, which does 16 to 20 damage, or Slash. I could do Charge. Okay, I can go...
I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
I don't think Charge is going to really help us, so I'm just going to head here. And we're going to do a good old-fashioned Strike. Nice. And then I could do Charge. I don't know that that would work, though. It doesn't look like it would. You parried? Well done, lad. Now I should be able to hit these shots. There we go. Fantastic. We're gonna Iron Arm again, I think. There we go. If you guys could line up a little better, that would be great. Just, nope, go right there. That's not what I wanted you to do. Regardless, I can charge through here, right? We're actually just going to...
I will do.
I'm gonna do this.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
Unavailable, okay. Brace for impact, calls in allies to get 2 deflection.
Victory is
There we go. Nope, that's fine. Faring like a mother trucker, so that's always good. I'm gonna go ahead and just get in down and dirty into this because I feel like we can easily take these guys on. And then we're gonna just double up on him. Nice. These guys are doing terrible.
indeed.
We're just gonna hack and slash our way through everything. They don't stand a chance. Oof, that hurt.
Follow my lead. Reduce to
There we go. Didn't stand a chance. However, we can now take some things up. Laser pistol isn't going to be good, but you know what? I'm just going to all to inventory. Let's do all to cargo. And it looks like we've leveled up. All right, so Gracchus Valincius, we are in the leader role, which is always going to be nice. We need to choose ability. You know what? Let's go Lore Imperium, maybe? No, what does Carouse mean? Resist negative effects? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then break their ranks. Till the beginning of the leader's next turn, all targets' melee attacks deal bonus damage equal to the FEL, which I don't know exactly. Oh, okay. Fellowship. Okay, cool. So I don't have a huge amount of fellowship, which doesn't make us very useful. Enfeeble weakens all targets in the area. Invigorate. Let's go. Target's next attack will ignore cover, have double effective distance. Divination. Diviners, gleaming information, using it to your favor. Let's go ahead and work on that. Nice. Okay. Alright, cool. Is that all I can do? That's fine if so. Just need to make sure. Upgrade the leader doctrine. I did. Voice of command or bring it down. Let's go voice of command. And then we did all of those. Awesome. So I do think we're good. Am I correct? Warning, this version only contains limited section of the leaders. Consider selecting. Okay. We're going to try that. Apply selections. There we go. Okay, we did that. We go over here to Abelard. We can upgrade the fighter doctrine. We're going to do forceful strike or taunting scream. We're going to do taunting scream. And then he's going to go down into Medicae and do that stuff. All right, we're good to go. We're good to rumble in the jungle. We need to get everyone and go to the Navigator Sanctorum. All right, just a hint here. We're going to be here a while because I want to at least get the prologue done. I want to see what happens.
A nice little stroll.
All right, who do we have here? Ooh, it looks like we have a nice psyker. Adira. And so he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate. Master Gracchus Valincius, watch your head. Adira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close. Sorry, old man, the voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing. Gracchus Valincius, this is Adira Tlass, personal psyker and diviner of her ladyship Theodora von Valincius. Adira? I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate, to die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall to bring the burning waves of the final dawn. In the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? Who? I have no answer. The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer. A diviner, are you? The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad, but I'm patient. I know how to listen, how to discern. But now with the clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are Gracchus Valincius von Valincius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet. Hear a few clicks from the reveys of the servo skull. Followed you all the way here. Officer frequency. To all who can hear me, there's a weapon in their hands that... Those with a weapon in their hands are to gather the officer's deck. Gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack. That's Adelthrid. Emperor's Providence, the other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must. Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, no number of Lady Theodora's heirs will be of use. If Adelthrid, like me, has not yet surrendered either mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold without us. Blast, you're right. First, we need to deal with what's happening here. The whispers called me. The ones that can make out call the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master cog and the silence that followed. You don't mean the chief engineer is... Yes, Abelard, dead without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now just joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest, and it's better that we serve the navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or cook from the middle decks. We must see if the navigator is well. Oh no. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin, the eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. He freezes, then slaps her cheek, rubs her face, looks at you. The supernatural glow is gone from her eyes. But we're not just going to stay in here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around, maybe who's crippled to death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are you moping around for? Let's go protect the noble mutant while we're still alive. Let's get to it. Destroy the field. Don't keep our master waiting. All right, let's see what a real psyker can do.
Your doom has been foretold.
I'll turn you into corpse starch.
There we go. Let's start the battle.
My passions have failed me.
Oof. All right, what do we have here? We have lightning arc. Psyker unleashes a blast of lightning, chains up to 4 targets with a 3-cell radius. Okay, let's expose ourselves just a little more.
But of course,
Nice. That was freaking brilliant. What do we have here? Peer into the future. No, we don't need that. Expose weakness. I don't think we'll have to worry about that right now. The question is, can I attack diagonally? Probably not. So I'm going to try and shoot, which doesn't ever have a good chance of happening. Let's try it. Turns out you can. Very nice. We're going to give our iron arm, increases their strength. That's probably a little unnecessary. These guys are so low HP, but regardless, it's still fun to play with it. Nice. Cover didn't cause any issues. He is undercover though, so we're going to go after him.
At your back and forth. I took care of this one.
No issues at all. We're just going to go and solve this in melee mode.
In the Empyrean.
Espiatus, the creature in the chair appears as if it's become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and the limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the 2 dark gill-like slits on its cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, 2 ordinary eyes, as well as a third that sit in the center of his forehead. I believe Master Baphadia still lives. Flinches at the side of the stretched skin. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive. We're going to address Theodora. What's wrong with him? Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing its way into its head. Pick one. The navigator stirs, barely able to lift its head. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the Vox grill at the base of the bizarre chair. It's unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. You're in need of help. We have to get you out of that chair. Suddenly, the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, falls back to its seat, thrust forward again, its bones crack, skin tears open. The fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than the wild impestices. The mutant remains seated, but leans far back and forward as he can, layering raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming 2 hideous screaming mouth pits. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn. It came from beyond. His body is not his. Theodora's scream is echoed by the silent cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. Its march thunders on the burdens of hope. So unseal your hearts and it will flood your souls with the myriad of words and meanings, each one more potent. The navigator continues to convulse, shrieking and cackling, but his fit stops abruptly. His face drenched in black and crimson, the dark ooze from under his third eyelid His third eyelid has turned from a trickle to a stream, and there's purplish swelling around the eye. Run, flee from this place while I still have the strength. The words come out of the box as a labored rattle. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation, leave the warp, but it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. We're going to address Abelard. The Seneschal gazes. The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he's still alive. It's worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the officer's deck and join forces with Adelthred and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the call to arms that the Servo Scold relayed to us earlier. Vespadius, good luck, and thank you. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under the closed eyelid. The vox at the base of the chair is bellowing out static, interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. It does look like we are able to get an axe, which will work a decent better. So let's go ahead and inventory it up. I'm going to put an axe in that's going to give me a little bit better stuff. Let's rock and roll. We're on the officer's deck now. Lots of fire. Oh, get wrecked, son. I shall not pity your enemies. I shall not heed not their pleas. New character.
God and earth, move through me. Be fire in my heart.
Heck yeah, lady. The white-haired warrior turns to face you. The weapon quivers in her hand for a brief moment. Seems she's not going to stop and will instead continue eliminating every target she sees. Sister Argenta, it's a relief to see you in good health and well armed. We require all the forces we can muster. The young woman called Argenta lowers her weapon. She sets sights on your face. It is unfamiliar. Who are you? Gracchus Valentius von Valentius, the Lord Captain's heir. Gives you another stern appraisal. The hour is dark and daunting. The ship abounds with corruption. The faces of friends are twisted by sneer of heresy. The eyes of comrades are igniting with the arch enemy's hunger. I will stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone willing to halt the advance of the dark forces. That's why you've come, isn't it? Sister, I beg of you, now is not the time for interrogations. The ship is under attack by heretics. We've been betrayed by our esteemed master of whisperers. Adelthred the heir is waiting for our aid, and Lord Captain Theodora is expecting a report. Of course we are here to deal with the situation, so I suggest we all do that. There is no time for talk. Very well, let us leave it at that. Cannot wait to rain fire upon more heretics, each and every one of them. We need to get rolling. Through this door, I'll go with you. I can't wait to destroy those who encroach on the God Emperor's domain. We will follow you for now. We will hold off any heretics who might try and crawl through the cracks to join the main assault. We'll take a look at the generators while we're at it. These villains made a mess of the cables. Oh, I wish we had a technomat with us. We'll see what we can do without one. Good to hear it, sister. Ready. May Terra's light illuminate our path. Let's get to it. All right, we've got another character. Awesome. Let's rock and roll. We got some goods here. Of course, we're going to take all to the inventory. Crank injectors. We're going to do all to the cargoes. It appears we can't move that way. We also have a little bit more loot, apparently. Nope. Where's my loot? It may be in the next room or something. All right, tech use. Plus 40, open that door. There we go.
Marching on.
Fantastic. All right, to battle.
Show them no mercy.
Idira can actually kind of handle herself, so I'm going to let her do that. Let's actually move back. Now start the battle. Alright, Gracchus Valentius. All targets melee attacks deal bonus damage. Do we even need to worry about that? We actually probably do. Apparently I can't do that. Let's imbue allies then. Let's just head up and start this with a nice little wallop. There we go. Nice dodge. Adira, I don't know that that would be wise.
Will do. Farewell.
Okay, no, that's wise. I enjoyed that. Let's go ahead and end the turn as well. Ow.
I've suffered worse.
We're gonna get behind the lines here. Come on. Brilliant. More people are here. No worries on that. We can take them on. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that at the moment. Heretic isn't doing anything worthwhile. Way too far away. And we're dealing with a lot of things here, aren't we? Easy kill. Still missing. Left, right, front, and center. Let's move up. And I can certainly...
I'm not so sure.
Oh, I don't have... Oh, shoot. I don't have enough. No, we'll be okay. Next turn. Not enough.
That's actually sound.
We're going to move over here. And the only reason I'm moving way out there is I want to use chain lightning on these three guys if possible.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
I say that and then I go and shoot them. It's fine. It works. Nice miss.
Stop mocking me.
All right. I don't know what this door does, but we're gonna try opening it. All right, cool. I don't know what that does, but I feel like that was worthwhile. At this point, we're all just gonna come in. We're gonna start wackadoodling everyone.
It will be done.
There we go. Let's try it. Brilliant. She is an excellent shot. You missed, good sir. Let's go X. Nope, that's outside of my range. It's okay.
What is this foreboding?
What did I just do? What did I just have her do? Well, Rippadoodles.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Brace for impact, that's fine. That'll limit what we have to worry about. Oh, nice. You don't have to worry about it. Nice. We're going to examine the model. Labels indicate their main comparison. Cool. That's fine. We'll accept all. Do we have any more loot boxes? We do. Loot, loot, loot. All day long. Melt to charge. And operator's gloves. Nice. Should probably say all to inventory, but I think they're all going to inventory anyways. We have goods here. Go ahead and pick up all the remains. Right, goods from the dead bodies. Works for me. What is this? A machine right set. Provides additional opportunity to call out machine spirit. Melt to charge and multi-keys. Very cool. Alright, good deal. Where do we need to go? We need to go deeper in. I don't want to blow the door up. I think we have enough keys. Oh, nope. There we go. Blow the door up. What do I care? Oh, snap.
Something ominous lurks ahead.
Yep. Knew that was gonna happen. The roar of the flames rings in your ears. You instinctively recoil from the scorching heat. A moment later, a hazy silhouette forms in the raging wall of fire. You're surrounded by ear-splitting noise and screaming. You distinctly hear the sound of footsteps. You see the figure walk out. It's Theodora. Are you lost, my heir? An apparition. A sorceress apparition. Trickery of the warp. Sister, you will lower your weapon. Threatening the Lord Captain is outrageous. This is impossible. I doubt you are aware of the limits of what is possible, Gracchus Valincius. For your worldview is that of an iota, what a rogue trader knows and sees. I can tell you, you'd like me to share the knowledge with you, that power over reality. I can lead you out of these flames, show you a path, rid you of pain, give you a weapon so you may defeat your enemies. Decide. Your mouth begins to salivate. Each word speaks like music to your ears. The enemy that now dwells in the deepest of your minds is pleading, begging, demanding you give her an immediate answer. An answer that can be nothing more than acceptance. Do not listen to this abomination, Gracchus Valincius. If you, there is naught but his light in your heart. If you are resolute in your faith, the Emperor protects. His faithful will not be deterred, nor will the fire burn those who carry the torch of faith in their soul. To the void with you. We need to follow Lady Theodora before we suffocate in this furnace. The people, he looks back, coughing. Gracchus Valincius, the survivors from the middle decks. We must help the crew, lead them out, find a way. You hear distant sounds, muffled and distorted as if there were a body of water. Then we'll miss our chance to meet up with Ida, breaks off and starts coughing. Gracchus Valincius, what are we waiting for? We're going to actually go Benevolencia, get the people off the bridge. I will not lead my people in harm's way. Desire to personally meet with you. Person recently brought aboard the flagship. A storm's brewing over the dynasty. You look away and the illusion breaks. The unbearable heat instantly makes your skin burn. Voices beyond the shroud of smoke grow stronger and hopeful once you and your companions rush back. In your determination, you completely forget about Theodora. When you turn your head, you see nothing but bellowing fire. Fall back, we'll go around.
This master crafted for tenor and winter.
All right, I think I figured out what we got to do. Right here. We're gonna crash the platform.
The Emperor favors me today.
There we go. Woo! Now let's walk across it. It only took a little bit. Too late. We are too late. Perhaps Ethelthred and his escort made it here. That would have been even worse. Could be fighting on the bridge without us. Something's happening. My lord, I beg your pardon for interrupting. People are seeking your orders. You came back to save us, so now we will follow you through thick and thin. To the bridge. If Ethelthred is there, then he requires immediate assistance. I say, Gracchus Valincius, there's one thing I find most troubling. The Lord Captain's Voxcast. They are still coming in, even though it makes sense for Lady Theodora to be on the bridge that had the counter-assault. I feel uneasy. What if the Lord Captain is besieged in her own chambers? With your permission, I suggest we confirm ourselves she is not. We can use the same elevator that they headed for earlier.
Terra.
The Lord Captain's quarters. That's where we're gonna head. Oh wow, a waterfall in there. That's pretty stinking fancy. This isn't boding too well. That's what we thought. She dead. Other organs seem to have been sitting idle for many years. Does that matters at this moment? Goods do matter, so we're going to take that. Oh, nice helmet.
That wasn't so difficult.
Scene of the murder looks like something caught the dead as surprise. Vanished right after leaving the officer's desk, but what could be behind her disappearance? Theodora von Valincius' body is sprawled on a large blood-drenched desk. The arch-militant's corpse is lying on the floor by one of her bulkheads. Emperor, accept thy faithful souls. No! Lord Captain, I didn't hear a thing, not a whisper, not a breath. It was so loud. Why didn't I foresee it? Lord Captain, who would even dare? Unless the rat Voigtveer. I doubt it. He wished humiliation and suffering, not a swift death. It could have happened in the heat of battle, not to mention that Mort was here. He would have protected Lord Lady Theodora to the last. How could Mort have failed her so terribly? The Archmilitant was born on a death world. He had lightning-fast reflexes. Adira sobs and gets up. I can look at things in my own way. If you find something might bear the imprint of the killer, give it to me. I'll see what secret it holds. Examine the body. The cause of death is apparent. What ended the rogue trader's life was an auto pistol shot, an extraordinary accurate one at that. Face bears the expression of surprise, her last emotions he experienced in her life. Something on the floor catches your eyes, a heap of blood-spattered parchments and scrolls that must have fallen off the desk. As you lean forward, a closer look, small shards of glass scattered across the floor. Adira, what do these shards tell you? I see streaks of color, luminescence, blue lights, faces drawing closer. Lady Theodora and Conrad, and what is that? Ah, something dark, enormous. Oh, Gracchus Falincius, this glass thing was something nasty, that's for sure. Tainted witchcraft. Adira, would you mind touching Theodora? You may be able to see. Doesn't work like that. I can try to read the memories, but dead bodies are a different story. Something like that would require her soul, and after what we saw on the officer's deck, I won't risk searching for it in the warp. Let's inspect the papers. Dispatches, you go over the scrolls. It's handwritten letters signed with the initials XC and a seal that is vaguely familiar to you. Handwritten letter with a seal. All right. Lore Imperium check failed, but try as you might, you cannot recall its meeting. We're going to check the shards. Object fell on the floor. Upon closer inspection, they iridescent. All right. Examine the Archmilitant's body. An auto pistol shot went straight through the forehead, spraying the floor and the furniture around with blood. The safety on the Archbishop weapon is off. The killer must have been a split second quicker than he was. Crucibles of battle called to me. We must see if we can find anything. Adira, you can't bring her back. Let her go. You'd give up so easily, old man. I expected as much from the sister. It's not like she has a heart, but you... Oh no, I'll get to the bottom of this. I'll find the one responsible for the murdering the Lord Captain, and when I do, that scum will regret the day they were born. Desires to meet personally. All right, well... New things. There we go. There's goods over here. Theodora says rosary. Where this amulet gains bonus to commerce and lore equal to their sum. All right, we're going to level up just real quick. We are going to put that on as well. We are going to level ourselves up.
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
I can figure out how to do that. All right, we're in doctrines. We can't upgrade the doctrine. We can increase movement points by 4. Now this of course is Abelard, so it's one thing we can think of. Yeah, let's actually increase movement points. And then we're going to get Untied Hands is nice. Impetus. Living Shield. Enemies suffer a -15 penalty to their hit chance against the fighter. Ramming Speed. Yeah, let's do that. Ramming Speed sounds nice. Apply those selections. We can upgrade the Adept. Study Enemies, I think will work for us. Medicae, I think, let's go with Lore of the Warp. And then if they use Precise Attack, we'll Inflict Despair. I think that'll work. Apply those selections. The Sister Argenta. Demolition, Dash, that's fine with me. Let's use Dash does not end the movement. Enemies near the dash will attack marksman at the lowest priority. Enough bullets, second marksman attack. I don't want that. Let's do Combat Medic. I think that'll work. And then we'll also up her Medicae to apply that. And then for us, we need to upgrade our everything. And I think Lead by Example will be a good one. There we go. That's great. That's awesome. All right. Very cool. That's all for all of us. Let's go into our inventory very quickly.
Someone else can...
I don't know. None of them can wear this. Here we go. She can get that, and that, of course, helmet grants its wearers immunity to enemy critical hits for the first 3 rounds of combat. That's pretty darn good. Upfading Valor. Unfading Valor, excuse me. That's going to be the best thing for us overall. Is there anything else that we can investigate in here quickly?
I'll warn you if I hear anything.
There is. All right, next cutscene. All right, we're going to use this as the last little bit of battle before we end our first episode. Maybe our last, you never know. Abelard can handle things himself. Argenta, I'm going to put her back here. Gracchus. And then I'm going to put Adira right here. We're going to start the battle. That's fine. This is actually great because it's going to allow me to do my swing that I think Abelard has. That's a combat servitor. That's going to be pretty intense. And they all get to go first. That's fun. So I think the slash affects all three. Boom! That's what we call a triple kill, my friends. And then I could charge, but I don't think it would be worthwhile.
At your beck and call.
Okay, that was worthwhile. We're going to end the turn there. I'm going to come up to here. And then I'm going to swing and cut him down. That's going to be it for me. That's nothing else I need to do.
I'll do it.
Take down that servitor. That was a very easy battle. And we all level up, which is absolutely awesome. Grace of the Oblivious. +5 if their intelligence is less than 35. That probably will help us a decent bit. And then, of course, we all level up. The Void Ship Bridge, ladies and gentlemen, is going to have to wait till the next episode if you want it. Guys, I'm actually like really intensely into this. So if you are interested in me pursuing this rogue trader beyond this first initial episode, which is a very long one without a doubt, then let me know in the comments section down below. You can of course give the video a like. That will give a great indication. The more engagement there is, the more I have an incentive to follow up with this. The prologue is awesome. We haven't even gotten to ship combat yet, but just being able to create your own custom character and then being able to see the origins of the story of Rogue Trader is really fun and incredible. And of course, guys, if you want to take part in this yourself in Rogue Trader, you can pre-order to get access to the beta. I'm not saying yes or no to pre-ordering. I am simply saying that if you want to have access to this beta, pre-ordering is the way to go. Right now, I am enjoying myself. I am enjoying the mechanics. There's a lot here that I'm having a lot of fun with in an RPG style, and I hope you're having fun too. That's all I've got today, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode.